I find hope in organizations that are committed to inviting everyone to the table, not just a given few.
Presence of women priests through the Roman Catholic women priest movement, and other women who are taking other types of leadership roles in ministry and helping to bring about a more just church.
Through small groups, through personal conversations.
In small faith communities, home communities.
Well, I find hope in organizations like Call to Action that's committed to taking ownership of the church.
Hope only here.
I would say in groups like this, first of all.
Through events like this.
I find it in people kind of just saying, well, I'm going to do this anyway. So the independent communities that have come up in conversation so much, and the independent communities that I'm a part of.
In dignity chapters all across the country.
Through individual relationships with amazing people and organizations that are being church for each other, even when we can't necessarily find comfort or safety in some of the traditional church structures.
I would say in the people that are in the parish.
Each individual person.
In the church's people. Yes.
I would say I find the hope in people that are really angry, people that perhaps are disillusioned with the church. I used to find that was very discouraging, but now I feel like I find those people really give me the courage to ask the questions that I need to ask to find my own personal liberation in my faith journey.
I think I find more hope in the church outside of the church. I think that wherever there is open-mindedness and an effort to meet people halfway and to accommodate other people's points of view, that is really where I'm finding the gospel of love.
There's not a ton of hope to be had in other areas. I think that I often, and many people, feel a little disillusioned with what is discussed in kind of mainstream Catholic conversation. So being able to be here where people are talking about issues that are ones that I really care about and I think should be at the forefront of conversations has been really nice to hear.
I also think I receive a lot of hope from the older people that are here because I see what they've actually fought for and that they're still here in spite of the fact that there have been so many changes in the demographics of who represents Catholics today. So I draw a lot of optimism from them and their stories, and I'm really privileged to be here today.
We are very strong, and we draw a lot of strength from Joan Chittister in her ideas that the church, we're not going to see the new church. We're older and we're not going to be here, but what we want to do is, keep the faith.
Oh boy, I don't know, because the generation I see here, they're pretty old, and the church is becoming more conservative, and the people who are liberal are leaving, not staying and participating. I don't see hope in my lifetime.
And I have hope for the future of another kind of Catholic church, one that is more accepting of diversity, more inclusive, more loving, more like Jesus.
And we hope to figure out how to get to young people, because you young people think differently and beautifully, and my children are not very active in the formal church, but they're very moral and very dedicated and very good people. And how do we make the connection between, maybe the formal church will be much smaller and maybe people won't be that attached to it. So we look to the future and for the future generations, but it's difficult. We're still working at that. We haven't solved that problem yet.
But I also find hope in the upcoming generations on our views and our changes in in our beliefs and because the youth is our future and all that stuff. So the hope in them to change what has somewhat has been said, but to change that into something that can be better suited for our community, because Catholicism, or the word Catholic, means like a universal church.
Kind of in the fact that the hierarchy is kind of like trying to hold on so hard. It's like, well, we must be rattling their chains if they're going to grip so fiercely on some things.
I don't feel much hope for change, particularly in the Roman structure of the church. Although I think we have to keep banging on that door.
The people that are working for justice and social action in the world, who are doing the call of the gospel, following the call of the gospel.
I would also say especially in the social justice doctrine, because I think that that's something that's very unifying and very universal to people that, or especially rather to people that might want to see more change in other areas.
So I hope in this, I hope in this movement, and I hope that we prevail. But I think it'll take a long time, probably longer than I have left. But I don't care. It's the journey, they always say. And this journey with this group is a privilege.